I broke my back in a parachute accident in 1989. And I had an E3, which is a young hospital corpsman, young lady, who had been out of boot camp, or out of hospital corpsman school, let's say for 3 months, 4 months. And I'd go, after I got out of the hospital, I'd go to this clinic, I'd lay on my belly, she'd put some electrodes on my lower back, give me a bottle of Tylenol, or Motrin 800s, what we used to call in the Navy diver's candy. And every time you had something sore, you'd pop a couple Motrin 800s and everything would be better. Every doctor, that's what they would give you. And finally, my stomach started to get upset from these Motrins. I had a pharmaceutical-sized bottle of Motrins that they had given me. And another corpsman that I had said, why don't you go see a chiropractor? Because 3 months after my accident, I had dislocated the shoulder too. I couldn't raise my arm any higher than this. I walked out of my first chiropractic appointment in 1989. Chiropractors were looked upon as witch doctors. And I walked out of my first chiropractic appointment with my arm going like this. So for a long time, I've kind of been an anti-traditional medicine guy. I knew that we could do something more holistically. And that's what we were trying to do, is how can we take a non-pharmaceutical approach to life? Because at the end of the day, that's what these symptoms are about. We can't change anything that's in the backdrop. And I see people here all the time. I tell people, depression is when you get stuck in the past. And if I can't get out of that stuckness, then I'm going to live a miserable life. So how do we go forward? We have things here like labyrinth and horses. You know, and everybody will think, well, how can a horse heal you? Well, we're not here to have the horse heal you. We're here to have you heal yourself. We just want that horse to show you that you're not being honest with yourself. And that's what horses can do. We have a labyrinth. It's a form of mobile meditation. It's been around since the medieval days. We had a sergeant major from a classified Army unit come through this program who spent 22 years at that unit and 30 years in the Army. This man was as tough as a human being could be. He walked off that labyrinth after releasing everything that we had taught him in the meditation and for the walk. The labyrinth's about 1/3 of a mile. It takes about 25 minutes to walk this. The concept is that as your body slows, the paths on this labyrinth are narrow. As your body slows, your mind slows. And this guy walks this labyrinth and he walks off in full sobbing tears because he's released the stuff that's holding him back from in the past. Our executive director here, Dusty Baxley, on the second, we do 2 labyrinth walks in a 7-day period. On the second labyrinth walk, our staff lines this windy sidewalk. And we welcome everybody home, ready to go onto the next part of their journey. Because in the world of post-traumatic growth, creating this new story after you leave Boulder Crest, creating this new story of how you're going to live your new life, that's what's really important. And that second labyrinth walk is focused on this. Guy walks off the labyrinth, shakes Dusty's hand, and in his hand, Dusty can feel something. He knew what it was. And he said to the guy, what's this for? And he said, you saved my life. Because if this program didn't work, what's in your hand was my next option. And when Dusty opened his hand, it was a .45 caliber bullet. So just the power in that walk and being able to share that story and show that meditation and that ability to take control of your own life. Because most of the time what happens in these depression, anxiety, and PTSD states is that we blame everybody else. We don't take that accountability ourselves. The most successful people are self-aware. If I can become self-aware, if I can start to take control of my own destiny, and I'm empowered to do that, then I can be somebody and not let the past hold me back.